can make the Super Bowl. I think they have some flaws on the line and some other issues. I know they brought back Dante Scarnecchi, excuse me, long-time coach for the Patriots, was there for 30 years. They fired Joe DeGilamo, who was their line coach for the past 2 years. I mean, that Denver game was phenomenal. I mean, they couldn't block anyone. So it's good to have Dante back. I think they improved there. I think there's still some flaws. I think there's kryptonite, Brady. But really, the kryptonite of that offense, the running game. The running game was non-existent last year. They lost the running backs. They brought in Steven Jackson. He was just so out of NFL shape.
What's really
they were just hampered.
What's really amazing about that, and it's kind of a, for the lack of a better word, it's a loophole that I have found in fantasy football with the Patriots. Their lack of, and I don't know if I should give this, it's not really giving anything away, but the way I strategize for my fantasy draft kind of revolves around it. Their lack of the running game, where Tom Brady drops back, hands the ball off to the running back, has been seen for the last, probably the last 10 years, to be quite honest. What they do is they find a wrinkle within that, and they've revolutionized the passing game to the running back position. The Kevin Falks, the Deion Lewises, those guys are technically their running back. That's like their style of running the ball is technically throwing the ball to the running back.
Yeah, they refer to those as scat backs. They've had the Kevin Falk, the Shane Vereen, the Deion Lewises of the world, Danny Woodhead. They've had guys that they've used for years to fill that void, fill that role, and they do a great job at it too.
So rather than trying something that's not working, that's what I'm talking about though. That's like a progressive mindset. Some of these teams they try doing the same thing, knowing that they're gonna fail, knowing that they don't have the right pieces in place, but they keep trying. New England says, all right, we've tried that 3 times. That's not going to work. Let's change it. Let's do something else that might work. And it has over time, and it's obviously helped Brady's statistical year-to-year numbers. And you made a good point about Tom Brady being the greatest quarterback of all time. People our age, 24, 25, say, Tom Brady's not the greatest of all time. Joe Montana is. Okay, I can understand that, but we weren't around when Joe Montana played, so I'm only going to go off the guys that I've seen play. I'm not going to say that Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback ever because I didn't get to watch him play. The only time I get to see Joe Montana play is in clips of his greatness on NFL Network or, YouTube videos of Joe Montana's highlights. We don't see the moments of triumph and tragedy throughout his career like we have with Brady, where he went undefeated, 18-0, lost to the Giants, but was right back in it after tearing it. Then he tore his knee that next year, week 1 against the Chiefs. Then he came back and found himself in a Super Bowl. I don't know what the statistic is right off the top of my head, but I know going into this AFC Championship game, he's played in like 9 AFC Championship games. That's insane. Just that alone is ridiculous. And with my own 2 eyes, I would say that Brady is the best that I've ever seen. I think you'd agree with that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, he's played in 10. I just counted. 10 AFC Championship games. They've been 6-4 within those games.
That's right. It was 10 because they played Denver twice. I always forget that.
Yep. But anyways, the consistency on that team by that team. The other thing too is when you do the comparison between Montana and Brady, it's very, very. You can't do that.
No.
Tired because. I noticed what happened is his memory seems to. When you look back, especially long ago, when you look back in the 80s, I mean, you're talking decades. When you go back that far, sometimes your memory isn't always truthful to itself. Sometimes you remember things as better than what they really were, until you go back and look. I mean, you're at a time, there was an era, everything was great, people were happy, you're getting out of high school, more or less the people who are talking about how great Montana is. You're at a different time. In their time now, they see Brady, you can't really compare the two. To be honest with you, the way you compare it is compare it by stats, compare it by comeback, compare it by how did he lead his team, how long did he play. To be honest with you, Brady is the best quarterback of all time. Just the way that he's a competitor. You look at San Francisco. San Francisco has the best player at every position. Best player at every position. Never one time was Montana really having to be the guy that had to carry the team that year. I mean,
that's true.
They were good every year.
They had Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig, Dwight Clark.
Staley, Roger Craig, and, even when, they transitioned guys, they brought new guys in, Justin Turner, receiver, everybody, they did an excellent job year after year. They had a great team, a great coach. One of the best minds. Fortunately, whenever they played New York, that time Bill Belichick, defensive coordinator, they seemed to lose.
They did.
They lost 49-3 in the divisional playoffs.
They did. They also lost in the NFC Championship game the year that Buffalo ended up playing the Giants. The 49ers were favored in that game, and I think the Giants went to the Candlestick and beat the 49ers to make that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they beat the 49ers. There was a fumble. Montana fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Late in the game. We went down. Matt Barr kicked the field goal. Went on to Super Bowl 25. We all know what happened there.
Yeah, unfortunately. What is your take on, that's a good, because I had a question about that. As far as Tom Brady goes, we know his success. He's had a crazy amount of success over the course of his career. His story is unlike any other guy that was a 6th-round draft choice, yada, 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 the Brady 6, all that stuff. How much longer do you think Tom Brady can play? I honestly see him...
I think he has 4 years. I think he's going to hang it up. I don't see him go up past 43 years old. I mean, his body's probably incredible. He takes good care of himself. He does a lot of training, which flexibility, yoga. I mean, he's very, 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 very holistic.
If he plays another 4 years, not to interrupt you, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, he's got about 4 years in him. I mean, I think he has 2 more solid years, and then, the last 2 years, I think he's going to need some help. I mean, he had one of the best seasons again this year. I mean, look at his touchdown-interception ratio and the amount of yards he threw for. Again, you can put those stats together. It doesn't look anything different than 2010, 2007, 2010. Again, probably one of his best, most efficient years at quarterback. Weren't the greatest, but most efficient.
Yeah.
So again, I think he has 2 more solid years in him, and then probably hang it up in 2020.
Yeah, I could see that. If he plays 4 more years, do you think there's any chance that, there's a Favre situation where he wants to continue to play, but New England wants to move on, and he plays...
No, if New England wants to move on to a class organization, they'll move on without him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
But Brady will retire.
You think he'll retire? Yeah. I could see that. I could see that, and I could also see both ways, because Tom Brady's dad said, things that start great never end well, in the NFL, and that's kind of what happened with Brett Favre. He was the Packers. He literally embodied the Green Bay Packers, and he decided, he was pretty much forced into retirement. They wanted to go in a different direction with Aaron Rodgers and everything, and he decided to retire. And I wonder, I could see both. That's a story that will be very interesting in the coming years, as far as Brady and everything. Back to the Buffalo Bills. And we got about 5 minutes left here. What was your thoughts on the 30 for 30 documentary, The Four Falls of Buffalo? I was very excited for it. I
never really got the opportunity to watch it, to be honest with you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, you should.
I did not.
That was a good one. Next question. I got another one for you. The Bills, you don't think they'll make the playoffs. You think that Doug Whaley has done a so-so job. Let's look in the crystal ball. Let's say 2016, the Bills go 6-10. They fire Doug Whaley. they fire Rex Ryan. Who should be the next head coach, or what type of personality or mindset should the Buffalo Bills be looking for in 2017 if they do decide to fire Rex Ryan?
Well, unfortunately, it'd be nice to hire him from within. I don't know why Jim Schwartz wasn't hired as a coach a year or two ago. He's a great defensive coordinator. I think that's what Buffalo needed. He had the right personnel. The kind of coach they need is somebody who's what the NFL is not anymore. I think the NFL is starting to become more of a glamour league, taking on after the NBA popularity. You don't get those Parcells guys. You don't find those anymore. And unfortunately, does it work? Does it not work? It's a new group of people. Pete Carroll. Everyone's having a good time. Everything's a party. But deep down, you need a disciplinary coach.
Yeah.
You've never had one. You've never ever had one. You got to find a guy like that. I would think. You may have to look at the college rankings. We typically a college coach doesn't last in the NFL, but if you find the right one, you got a good. Jim Harbaugh, great NFL coach, great college coach, but he wears people out.
That's true.
If you can get yourself a Jim Harbaugh without all the excessiveness, if you can promote discipline or remove that excessive, because that's just not good for players. It really is not.
No.
To have that much turmoil all the time. You need to be relaxed as a coach. You need to be stoic. But you also need to be strong. And I think Parcells' greatest moments were when he was quiet. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
There was a chronicle of the 1986 New York Giants, and they played Chicago. And the year before, when Chicago went to the Super Bowl, they went 50-1. They won the Super Bowl. And New York was playing Chicago. In Chicago, divisional playoff game, they lost 17-0.
Yeah.
And there was a punt. Their punter hit most of the punt, dropped in the end zone. Chicago recovered it for a touchdown. They were up like 10-0 or something like that. So here, this guy's thinking, we gotta get chewed up by Parcells. He's gonna murder me. Punter walked right to the sideline. Parcells said nothing.
Yeah.
So he knew what to do. He knew when to relax. I don't know if that was really necessarily what Harbaugh would have done. I'm sure he would have jumped down his throat. But Parcells knew when to go, and he knew when to take it back. And I think that's what made him such a great coach. It wasn't more about X and O's with him. It was more, how to
mindset.
Be a leader.
Yeah.
How to lead a team. Here's what we got to do.
Mentally, mental preparation, and back to the Rex Ryan thing. I think Whaley will get fired before Rex Ryan will, and the reason why is because, as we alluded to earlier, he's made reaches before Rex Ryan was even there, and Terry and Kim, they like Rex Ryan. How long that leash is of posting 6-10 to 8-8, 9-7 type seasons where we're just on the cusp of things but not close enough, or we needed this instead of that. How long they let that leash, how long that leash is, I don't know. But I would say Doug Whaley would get fired before Rex Ryan because, as you alluded to, as you kind of answered for me in asking you, who should the next Buffalo Bills head coach be if Rex Ryan does get fired? There's really nobody out there that is really worth the NFL pedigree to hold this spot. And realistically, I want somebody that brings kind of a respectability or a brand to the team. And that's one thing I would say Rex Ryan has done really well is he's provided the Bills with a brand that they haven't really had, in a long time. I don't even know if Marv Levy obviously brought a brand, but there's a direction. Basically, what they did, they took 2 steps back to take 1 step forward, and they're paying the price for it. Last year they did defensively, and they might this year defensively too, unfortunately, with the injuries that they've had and personnel, as you alluded to earlier. But
sure.
Sal, I really appreciate you joining me on the Thomas Take today. I definitely would like to have you back on. We'll have you back on over the course of the Buffalo Bills season.
Okay. All right, well, it was my pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good talking to you, Sal.
Thank you.
That was the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I'm Ryan Thomas. Take care.